I think it's important to understand basically the steps of my editing process. The first step is importing all assets. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just put them in, drag and drop, boom, done. Syncing audio. There's a very simple way to do it. I'm going to teach you exactly how later. Number 3 is cutting all the dead space. And number 4 is adding transitions and effects that make your video unique compared to everybody else. Number 5 is sound design. Sound design goes a really long way into immersing your viewer into the video without sacrificing hours of your time. 7 is color grading, pretty self-explanatory. And number 8 is the export. That's it. I'm going to be teaching you the export settings that I use to get crisp, high quality reels on Instagram. So here we are in Premiere Pro. I have everything already set up on my workspace. So I set up 3 bins, one for music, one for random assets, and then another for clips, videos, and stuff like that. I usually import my clip that I recorded. Basically, this video is telling people that you should charge more. In the random folder, I usually put the audio recording that I have on my microphone. So I record my audio separately. Obviously, you'll hear the camera audio as well, but I usually tend to record my audio separately on the mic, which is higher quality. But you know, if you're not using a mic, this step isn't really needed. The important thing is you're getting something out there rather than nothing. And then music is a last step that I usually do just because it takes me a while. We're going to import our audio from the mic. We're going to import our clips. As you can see on the right here, my face is really zoomed in. We're going to fix that later. But the way you want to kind of go about this is very simple. So you have my audio from my camera.
Last year I was overworking and
sounds all right. And then if you listen to my mic audio, you can see my mess ups in there, but you can see it's a lot better quality. You may be asking, Herschel, how do I, what do I do here? If you highlight both the clip and the separate audio, right click, and there's this button here called synchronize. Click it, it'll bring you to this window, and then just make sure audio track channel 1 is selected. Obviously, this is going to differ based on where your audio is, but for me, it's on 1 here. So click OK. What it will do is Premiere will automatically sync your audios. So now if you take a look,
and we're actually happy to pay for it.
There we go. Boom. See? So now that's step 1 done. So what I would really do is take this audio layer here from the microphone, drag it up, and it'll get rid of the audio from the camera, which is okay. And then we select both, and then we click link. So now these are basically just one, if you can see here. Because I shot this in 4K, the next step would be to scale it down to 50%, as you can see here. And then, yeah, so now we're on to step 1, which we said was importing the footage, which is done. And then we have to cut all this dead space. So as you can see the waveforms here of the audio. And long story short, you just want to click C here. C is the cut shortcut, the razor tool. And it lets you cut the videos here and here. And then V brings you back to the move tool. And then once you click on it, you can click delete to get rid of that clip. So this process is probably the most tedious process of the whole thing. Now we just got to go through the video and kind of cut out all the dead space. But this part, I'm just going to fast forward and I'll catch you on the other side. As you can see here, I've cut this entire video, but there's a lot of gaps here. How do you get rid of them, you may ask? So highlight them all, go to sequence, come down here to close gap. Boom. All of them are put together. And then you could go here in the beginning and just click delete and it'll bring it all to the front. So here's the issue now. You want to really optimize your videos to be under 90 seconds long. So that's 1:30. Right now, this video is 1:35. So what are we going to do? I thought I provided a lot of value here, but obviously I have to cut it down. So now I just got to kind of get rid of the parts that aren't really that valuable and don't really provide any insight to the viewer. So I'm going to quickly do that now. All right. So see, like something like that, like it sucks. I can get rid of that. Also, another really valuable tip that I have is to cut out dead spaces at the end of the sentences. So for example, like here, like there's like maybe a frame or two where I can cut out. See, like there's like a gap here that I can get rid of, like a frame or two I can get rid of here. So realistically, I have to remove 8 seconds of video, which might be hard, but you just got to eliminate some things that aren't needed. Now we're on to the next step, which is adding transitions. Another really big time saver in projects is having presets for all this kind of stuff. So for example, in the beginning of my videos, I always like to have a quick zoom out where it becomes blurry. So I have this transition preset here that I've made, and it does it for me.
Last year I was over.
Done. Nothing needed to do in that sense. So what I'm going to do now is add transitions. So for example, light leaks, scribble effects, shake effects. I like to keep it simple to light leaks and scribble effects. The importance of short form videos is to provide as much value in as little amount of time as possible. The average attention span for a human being is 8 seconds. We're doomed. Like, here we go. So drag that in here. Usually you could tell where to transition by where the audio's peak. Yeah, so in this case, because the black background is black, you have to change your blending mode here to screen. And then obviously because it's like sideways, you have to change your rotation by 90 degrees. For something like this, right? Like what I would do is really experiment with zooms and cut-ins and punch-ins and all that kind of stuff. See, like for example, that clip right there can be zoomed in a little more. Also, what I would really recommend you do is turn on your guidelines. If you click here at the bottom right on the plus sign, there's this button here and you just drag that in, and then you could drag in a timeline. You could drag one from up here and bring it back down. And the reason I say that is because you want to have your eye levels the same throughout the entire video, right? So for example, my eye level in this video is basically here. So if I was to zoom out and zoom in, I want these eye levels to be the same in every part of the video. So when you're watching the video, it doesn't seem like you're going like, up and down, you know what I mean? What I would also do is really focus on like minute zooms, punch ins and punch outs. You might think that they don't make a big difference with it. In reality, they do. And you kind of just have to sprinkle them throughout the video. So I'm going to do that real quick for the entire video and I'll get back to you. All right, cool. So now all those zoom ins and punches and, you know, zoom outs are all done. And you don't want to do too much with it. You just want to make it subtle and kind of tasteful. Sound design. Keep in mind, by the way, that this is a very bare bones edit. So nothing too crazy, but sound design, usually little sneak peek tip here. What I would do if I was you is look up like a bell ring. So for example, we have this audio. And this is the viral trend that everybody sees all over Instagram. What I would do is take that, go to speed and duration, reverse it, and then now you have a riser. Also for your audio, if you look here, you want to keep it really between -12 and -6. So that's another simple sound design edit. So you want to kind of sprinkle these sound design elements. So whooshes, paper crumbles, impact hits, stuff like that all throughout your video. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to be doing all that, but the concept still stands. Watch your entire video, add tasteful sound effects. Say, for example, a picture shows up in the video. Add a punch, add a whoosh, add something to kind of really immerse your audience into that video. So now here's another tedious part. You gotta caption your videos. There's some crazy stat out there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but a lot of people watch Reels without their sound down, which is so interesting to me. But luckily Premiere Pro has a way where you can auto caption your text. If you go down to your panels, you will see a text window. If you don't see that, you go to window and text right here, and then create captions from transcript. Click that. These settings are personal preference. If you want text to show up in a quick, easy fashion, what I would do is change the maximum length in characters to 30, change your minimum duration in seconds to 2, and then change your lines to single. And what Premiere Pro will do is automatically caption your videos, as you can see here. Now, the annoying part. You gotta watch through the video to check for spelling. See, like I say these in the video, but on the text it says duh. So what I would do is go up here to your text, double click, and then just change it. These. So cool. Let's just assume again that this is all correct. I fixed it. Now what you want to do is you want to customize it. So go to your properties tab. I believe on the older version of Premiere it's called Essential Graphics. But if you go to your properties, I like to use this font right here, Druk wide bold, and then make it all in one line, and then change the settings here for the drop shadow and bring it around this mark, right? So again, you want it so you can still see the text. So I usually bring it around this mark. And then next what I do is click this plus button, create style, and just name it like, you know, captions, caps. And this setting applies to all the captions here. Usually in the first 3 seconds, you want your audience to kind of see what's going on. So that being said, let's do overworking and undercharging as one thing. So last year, so this just emphasizes the text a little more. You get what I'm saying? So you have this, overworking and undercharging. Keep that in the middle, right? So now you have a situation where it's, you get rid of this overworking. You just have to kind of tweak with it and kind of see what makes sense. So cool, yeah, that's basically it. So we did the captions, we did the sound design, we did the transitions. what do we got left? And remember, your videos don't have to be the most overly edited and overly polished things of all time. It's more about the value and the story that you are bringing to these videos. That's why I'm not too fussed about making this shit look crazy cool. What I like to do is add a little bloom effect. This is a preset by Brian Del Mata. The next step is to do a color grade. So with the color grade, what I usually do is go to my random folder, right click, new item, adjustment layer, click OK, drag that adjustment layer onto the timeline and drag it all the way across. Click on it, go to Lumetri color. If you don't see Lumetri color, go to window, click Lumetri color. I have a S-Log3 color profile already on this, so you want to convert it to Rec 709, basically just having a conversion LUT. So here we are with this. It looks a little stupid, so what I usually do is turn down the intensity, bring up the exposure a bit, contrast, bring it up, highlights, bring it down a tad, shadows, bring up the shadows a bit. And this all kind of just varies depending on how your lighting is and how your coloring is. This is a very quick rundown. I can make a whole 2-hour video on color correction. So now we have a basic color grade. Last thing you got to do is just find a song that you mess with. Usually for these kind of inspirational videos and all this kind of stuff, you just look up like lo-fi beats or somebody that you really look up to. There's trending audios all the time on Instagram and TikTok, which I can make a whole, well, not TikTok anymore, rest in peace. I'm going to use this song by Flawed Mangoes that I have on my laptop and kind of just see where it goes. And then we kind of just want to bring it to its own layer. And then where the beat drops, so where the melody starts, like dun 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 dun. So that starts around here. So put M to put a marker. Put down your beat when you start getting into the content of the video.
Last year I was overworking and under.
Here's how I did that. Here's how I made it happen. That's when I get into the content of the video. So then the beat drops there. Drag it all the way across. Let's see how it sounds.
Last year I was overworking and undercharging.
All right, cool. So now, final part of the story. If you go to the end of your timeline, click O. Go to the beginning, click I. That basically just sets in and out points. And then you click Command M to bring up the export page, Control M on Windows. And then now you have this set up here. And then save it to wherever you want to save it. I'm going to name, I have 46 videos made. I'm going to charge here and name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Final Video. So I have these presets for the export settings, which obviously you don't have, but this is how you can make it real quick. You're going to basically be set with this. Match source, adapt to high bitrate, right? You're going to go here. You're going to click match source, click more, render at maximum depth, check that. Use maximum render quality, check that. And then go all the way down to bitrate settings. You want to change this to VBR2 pass. And this is where, your quality can get fucked up real fast. What I like to do is keep my target bitrate at 16 and my max bitrate at 26. We go to the audio, don't change anything in that. Multiplexer, I don't even know what that is. Captions, make sure you have this on. Otherwise, your captions that you made earlier will not show up, and make sure you burn captions into video. Otherwise, nothing's going to be there, as you can see. So burn captions into videos. Then you can see everything. And then general, keep it the same. Effects, don't worry about all that. Captions, multiplexer, again, I don't know what that is. And then that's it. Click export. That's it. That's all you got to know. This is like editing videos 101 for people who have never edited video in their life. So if you want to make content, this is the 7-step procedure. Super simple that you should follow. I know it could be a little daunting in the beginning to start creating content and start doing all these things, but highly recommend that you get into it and really dive deep into all this kind of things. If this video helped you out, please consider like, subscribe, comment, and just share this with somebody who's trying to create content and wants to learn more about this scene. All right. Thank you for watching. Catch y'all later.